Currently, I'm coming at you from my Airbnb in Thailand, which I actually got to Thailand on free flights from some of these cards, which I will dive into. Probably should have led with that. That might have been a stronger lead. Welcome back to the channel or the podcast, depending on where you are consuming this content right now. My name is Apple Kreider. And as you guys can tell, I am a bit of a credit card nerd. So if you guys missed the recent upload episode, whatever, probably about last week at this point on why I have 9 credit cards, that kind of details a little bit of the madness that goes on with myself and credit cards. And this is sort of a follow-up to that, and hopefully is going to show you a little bit of the method to my madness if you can find any. But basically, I'm a huge credit card nerd. Like I said, I'm a huge personal finance nerd, but specifically credit cards. I majored in personal finance in college, and I think I know a fair bit about the subject. So this series that I'm starting right here, right now, is kind of me documenting the process of accumulating 1 million credit card points. And once we get to the end of the video, you'll kind of see where I'm at in that process right now. I'm already fairly far along, almost about halfway along in the process. But I figured, you know what, like, I think I'm doing some cool stuff. I think some of you guys will think it's cool if you're into credit cards at all. So I kind of just wanted to document. Probably about once a month, I'll hop on here and do a little update of kind of what I've done over the last month in terms of credit cards, and just kind of break down some strategies for you at the same time. It's not just going to be like kind of update videos. It's going to be kind of like update plus. Here's some new strategies you can try out, ways to redeem your points for higher values, ways to accumulate points, all that good stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So without further ado, I just kind of want to dive right into it because I love talking about credit cards. I can talk about credit cards for hours. So let's just take off the reins and let me go at it. So basically what I want to do in this video, podcast, whatever, wherever you're consuming this, is kind of just break down the different cards that I have right now, the amount of points that I've accumulated on each card, and kind of just break down where I am kind of on the trajectory to 1 million points. I originally set the goal that I wanted to hit this by the time I turned 22, which is in December. So we'll see if that's still realistic. Currently, I'm coming at you from my Airbnb in Thailand, which I actually got to Thailand on free flights from some of these cards, which I will dive into. Probably should have led with that. That might have been a stronger lead than however I did lead into this. But regardless, I got here on a free flight. Actually, it was about $19. But that was through some of the strategies that we're going to be talking about right now. So without further ado, let's dive into it. And I'm also not trying to sell you any credit related course or anything. I don't do any of that stuff. I just talk about it for fun. So let's just get that out of the way. Okay, so first off, the first credit card I ever got was the US Bank Cash Plus. Got this about a few months after I turned 18. I was pretty ready to get into credit cards, so that's when I got this card. And so let's just break down these columns really quick. The first one is just like the card, and I'll explain the card. The second one is the bonus. So we'll cover those bonuses. Most credit cards, any credit card that I'm going to apply for is going to give me some kind of sign-up bonus when I spend X number of dollars in the first 90 days. So say if you spend $1,000 in the first 90 days, we'll give you 10,000 points or whatever, like this Fidelity card has. Okay, and we'll dive into that with that card. But the bonus is going to be, okay, how many points do you get after spending X number of dollars in the first 90 days? That's where the most bang for your buck is going to come from with credit card rewards, and we'll kind of get into that. Next is referrals. So if I've gotten any points from referring people to these cards. Side note, if you see any of these cards in here, you're thinking about getting them, if you use the links down in the description for this video, it will help me move along in this series, and I'd be more than happy to feature you in a future video as well. If you shoot me a message, say, hey, I used your referral link, drop me an email, Instagram DM, whatever. Be happy to feature you in a future episode, shout you out, do whatever you want to do. So yeah, there's that. So referrals, spend. So how many points I've gotten just from putting my spending on the credit card. So spending money with the credit card, and then total is just going to be bonus plus referrals plus spend equals total. So that's what we're looking at here. First, when we got the Cash Plus, there was no bonus on this card. I was a little bit naive coming into the game, but To be honest with you, if you're just getting your first credit card and you're a young person with a very thin credit file or no credit file, you're likely not going to be getting a first card that has a bonus anyway. Honestly, looking back at it, I was kind of lucky to get approved for the Cash Plus. It was really just because I had a long-standing banking history with US Bank. I've been banking with them since I was like 8 years old. So having that 10 years of banking history, they were keen to get me into the credit card system as soon as they could. So the day I turned 18, they were sending me mailers for these guys and trying to get me one of these cards. So that's the card that I got first. Got about 3,000 points just through normal spending on the card. Nothing too extraordinary there. So in total, that card's got me about 3,000 points. In general, US Bank points, and we'll talk about. There's so many things to talk about. So I want to keep this video less than an hour in length, just to spare you guys. I mean, honestly, I can talk about this stuff forever, but these points are probably only worth somewhere in the realm about 1 cent per point, because I think I just redeemed them for straight cash back, which is what you get. So just to do some simple math here, so if we multiply 3,000 by 1 cent, we are going to get about $30. So those points, cumulatively, that card earned me about $30. So really nothing too great there. In terms of this Fidelity card here, that's card number 2. Nothing too exciting with the Cash Plus Fidelity card. 10,000 points and 30 free trades. So I made a whole video about how I was able to swing this sign-up bonus. You were supposed to spend $1,000. I ended up spending somewhere in the realm of like 250, I think. So I got a pretty sweet deal here. Plus they kicked in 30 free trades when Fidelity was charging commissions for stocks. So that was helpful for me because that's where my Roth IRA is at. And I also have an individual brokerage account with them. That's beyond the scope of this video. But between that 10,000 points, that 1,300, in spending that I got on the card, that brought me up to like about 11,310 points. So just for the sake of math, if we go 11,310, these ones are also only worth about 1 cent per point, because you can really just redeem these for straight cash back into your Fidelity brokerage account. So that all in all, it got me about $113 into my Roth IRA for just doing normal spending. And guys, one thing that I do want to mention here, I mentioned this in anytime I talk about credit cards, most important thing that you have to keep in mind is all of the spending that I'm putting on these cards, all of the bonuses that I'm meeting, this is all for my normal everyday spending, okay? This isn't from me balling out of control, going to the mall, going on a shopping spree, putting it on my credit card and putting the minimum payments on for the next 40 years of my life. Like, that's not the strategy here. The strategy here, high level, which I outlined in that last video about why I have 9 credit cards, how I use them, etc., is put your everyday spending on these credit cards, pay them off on time in full, always, 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 never carry a balance, never pay the minimum payment, always pay this thing off in full. I used to be able to say that I never paid a single cent in credit card interest, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I missed one payment one time and I owed about $10 in credit card interest. I will never make that mistake again. I thought I had auto pay set up. Now I have auto pay on all 9 of my credit cards. So never pay a penny in interest. I can't say that I've never done it myself, but it was a mistake and it will not happen again. So don't. If you have balances on your credit cards, if you are somebody who doesn't trust yourself with a credit card, don't take the advice. You can use this as entertainment, but do not take any of it's not even advice, but just information that I'm giving you. Don't try to do this yourself if you are not going to be responsible with it. I would really feel very badly if somebody watched this video or consumed any piece of my content and made bad financial decisions and got into credit card debt. I would feel very badly about that. It would not sit well with my conscience. So please do not do that. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. Now let's get back to the video. So next credit card, again, I'm kind of going to burn through these pretty quick here. Chase Freedom was 15,000 points. I got 1 referral on that so far, plus 10,000 points in spending, 35,000 points. I value these points at about 2 cents per point. We can talk about this in a future video because that's kind of beyond the scope of what I want to get into right now. But 35,000 times about 2 cents, and honestly they can be about 2 to 5 cents, but 2 cents on the low side. This card's been worth about $700 so far. Again, still nothing crazy. This card's pretty similar. The Chase Freedom, it's a very similar card. This one I've put less spending on, and I haven't gotten any referrals on it. So this one's only going to be worth about $400 if we just do the quick math. 20,000 points times whatever, 2 cents per point. Awesome. So those are all pretty standard. These are all pretty intro level cards. As long as you have a credit score in the mid to high 600s, you should be able to get approved for all of these. And I've made tons of videos in the past about like the Chase cards and why you should go for these first. If I could do it all over again, I would probably ditch the Fidelity card and just go straight into the Chase cards. But I've got plenty of videos that I used to make about those all the time. That was kind of how I started my YouTube channel. So if you want to go back into the archives, I've got tons of videos about credit cards. So not going to dive into all of that right here, right now. This is mostly just a video to give you guys an overview of where I'm at with points. So if we look so far, we've got about 15,000 here. This brings us up to about 50. So we're at about 70,000 points so far, and we're about 4 cards in. So now we're getting to some of the fun cards with the bigger sign-up bonuses. So this one had 40,000 United Miles as the sign-up bonus. That is, fun fact, enough for a one-way ticket anywhere in the world. And those are the points that I used to get here to Thailand about a month ago now. So I've been in Thailand for about a month. I'm headed to Laos tomorrow. And I'm going to be spending all in all probably about 3 months in Southeast Asia on this trip, kind of just roaming around, doing the digital nomad thing, making some videos here and there, just exploring, running my businesses, and kind of doing the do. So that brings us on to the United card. So again, 40,000 United Miles was the bonus, no referrals. I don't know if they have a referral program on this card or not. If they do, check the description, link will be there. I'll link up all the cards, even though like these guys definitely don't have referrals. You can still sign up for it. I don't have a special link though, so you can't help me out. But if you sign up for it, let me know anyway. I'll still be stoked for you. But yeah, so that's the United card. Gotten about 5,000 or so miles based on spend. So we're at about 45. So 45,000 plus the 70,000 here brings us to just over 100,000. So we're already 10% of the way there, and we're only halfway through my credit cards. So let's keep rolling. Now we're getting into the business cards. So all of these cards have been personal so far. These first 5, the US Bank Cash Plus, the Fidelity, the Chase Freedom, Freedom Unlimited, and the United Explorer. Those are all personal cards. Now we're diving into the business side of things. A lot of business cards are going to have these really profitable sign-up bonuses, which I'm going to show you right here, like the Chase Business Cash, which had a 50,000 point sign-up bonus. Again, that I was able to hit through my normal spending, was not putting any money on these cards that I was not ordinarily spending. I was just, instead of paying with a debit card, paying with cash, I was instead putting my business expenses on this credit card. And these sign-up bonuses are very, very easy to hit if you are, like I was at the time, running a Facebook ads agency, any kind of digital marketing, and you can put Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, any kind of ads on your credit card. Those points accumulate very quickly, and you hit sign-up bonuses very quickly, especially when you're running ads for clients, and you can just put all of that ad spending on your card. Great way to rack up some points very quickly. So 50,000 points on the sign-up bonus, 3,000 points on the spend. If you guys haven't noticed yet, the most bang for your buck is by far going to be from the sign-up bonuses. There has yet to be a card other than the Cash Plus where I earned more points from spending than the sign-up bonus. It's usually by a pretty large margin as well. I mean, 50-3 ratio here of points from the sign-up bonus to points to the spend. And this is through spending multiple thousands of dollars on this credit card versus just the sign-up bonus. So again, that's why the biggest bang for your buck is going to be in these sign-up bonuses. I talk all about that at length in the video that I made about why I have 9 credit cards. So just watch that. That kind of dives into all of the strategy there. This is kind of just outlining where I'm at and what I'm planning on doing going forward. So 53,000 points brings us up to right around 150,000 points I think we're at so far. Chase Business, Chase Inc. Unlimited, very similar story, 50,000 ultimate reward points, about 5,000 in spend, brings us up to a little over 200,000 points at this point. If you've been counting, that makes 7 credit cards. We have 2 more to go, and we're only at 200,000 points, but this is where the big dogs step in, okay? This next credit card is my favorite credit card by far. If you're thinking about getting a business credit card, I would highly, highly recommend you look at this next card I'm going to show you. It's by far my favorite credit card, and I will explain to you exactly why that is. So let's dive into it. So we can move this out of the way for now. We don't need to worry about that yet. But okay, so the Chase Inc. Unlimited, that is my favorite credit card by far. I actually have 2 of them, so the next 2 cards are both the same one. So let me kind of explain to you why that is. So first of all, the sign-up bonus is 80,000 points. And you can transfer, one thing I didn't mention, you can transfer these ultimate reward points into any number of transfer partners, one of which is United. So if you do the math, 80,000 divided by 2, that's 40,000. This is 2 one-way flights anywhere in the world, independent of how much they cost. So 2 economy flights anywhere in the world are all yours if you sign up for this card and you hit the minimum spend. It's a little bit higher as they are with business cards. I believe this one is a $5,000 minimum spend in 90 days. So again, if you're spending money on social media traffic, if you're spending money on paid ads for clients, it's very easy to hit that. If you're not, you might have to get a little bit more creative. We'll talk about more creative ways to hit those sign-up bonuses in future update videos like this. But that's kind of beyond the scope of what I want to talk about just in this introductory video. So 80,000 points, 2 one-way tickets anywhere in the world. Very, very nice. I got 1 referral on this card so far, which was another 20,000 points, bringing us up to 100,000 plus 15,000 in spend. I spent a lot of money on this card. One thing that's also very nice about this card, if you are running an agency, is you get 3 times points for any social media spending. So if you're running any kind of social media ads, that's triple points, which is super, super nice. Now, like I mentioned before with the Chase Freedom and the Freedom Unlimited, I value these ultimate reward points anywhere from 2 to 5 cents per point, which makes this card, which has gotten me over 115,000 points from this one card that I've only had now for give or take 4, maybe 5 months. It's crazy, man. These cards are total cash cows, and I'm gonna explain why that is in a little bit once we get to the second one as well. But just to give you guys a little bit of evaluation of like what these 115,000 points are worth, if we go like 115 480 times, I mean on the low end 0.02. That gets us about $2,000 in value just from this one card. And that's on the low end. So if we wanted to go on the high end, we could potentially be getting upwards of $5,000 of value in terms of travel from this single credit card so far. And it's not even over yet. So I still have plenty of time to get that number even higher. And that's for one credit card. This credit card has so much bang for your buck. It is absolutely ridiculous. So let me just move these bad boys out of the way. Okay, this isn't gonna move. So let's just put this over here for now. Cool, we'll come back to those later. Okay, last card, another Chase Inc. Preferred, same sign-up bonus, no referrals on this one. Fun fact, my referral on this one was actually this card right here. So don't tell Chase, I'm not sure if they are about this or not. I didn't call in and ask, so I'm not sure. I'm kind of pleading ignorance on this one, but I did refer myself on this card, and that's because I have a second business here. So this is for one business, this one's for a different business. So I referred the second business a card from the first business. So that was how I got that sign-up bonus there. So once you have one of these cards, you can continue to refer yourself. If you have other businesses, you can continue to refer yourself more of these cards and basically get 100,000 ultimate reward points for each card you sign up for. So super duper nice. And with this card, I've only had this one for probably about 2 months now. So I haven't had as much time to spend as much money on it. I haven't put as much spending on it rather. And we haven't gotten any referrals yet. So this one's only gotten me about 87,000 points, which again, if we do the math, is roughly just under $2,000 on the conservative side, or on the more aggressive side, about $4,000. So all in all, if you go back and add up all of these numbers, which I did, it's going to leave us with 432,927 credit card points across a couple different currencies. So like I said, I'm about halfway to my million points goal that I kind of wanted to make this series about. And that is from building credit for just about 2 years. Yeah, just about 2 years. I've been able to amass about 432,000 points. Again, that's from paying $10 in credit card interest. Would not recommend always pay your credit cards off on time, but I did slip up that one time, so I can't say that I did it totally free of any kind of interest. But just to value those points out for you guys, just to give you some context on what that's worth. If we multiply these, again, on the conservative side, we're saying 2 cents per point is what I'm going to value these at in terms of what I can redeem them for. And I'll make a whole video about that, kind of explaining what I mean there. But for now, just know they're worth about 2 cents a piece. That's about $8,000, $8,600 in travel rewards that I could get. Again, that's on the conservative side. On the more aggressive side, we could go up to 5 cents. And then we're looking at about $21,000 so far just from my credit card points. These little screenshots I had over here of the 300,000 and the 83,000, these are just from my Chase account, just to kind of show you that I'm not just like blowing smoke here. So these are points that I actually do have. These ones are posting on my next statement. These are from this card that I just got a few months ago. These are from my other accounts. So I actually have 2 different Chase accounts right now. So that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I'm not just blowing smoke. I have in Chase right now about 400,000 points, a little bit less. And then, like I said, these are on United. I did spend the 40,000. So with this series, I'm not trying to just stockpile 1 million points. I'm trying to have accumulated 1 million points. Because I don't just want to sit on these things. Obviously, I want to travel. I'm spending time in Southeast Asia right now, just bopping around. So I want to continue to do that. So I'm not just going to hoard these things until I get to 1 million. I'm gonna continue to utilize them and have some fun in the process. So again, right now that 432,000 points is worth anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000. If we bump that up to 1 million, let's just value that out really quick. So I think that's 1 million. I can't really do my zeros very well, but if we value that out at 5 cents per point, that's about $50,000 in terms of travel. Again, on the lower side, we'd be looking at about $20,000. So all in all, by the time I hit 1 million, I'll have anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 in free travel that I will have used some of and will still have plenty of to use. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do with this quick video here. Again, it wasn't as quick as I would have liked it to be. We're at about the 20-minute mark right now. So I kind of just want to cut it off here. But I do want to know for future videos like this, A, do you want to see them? And B, what would you like me to address? Would you like me to address my kind of strategy for accumulating points, how to redeem them, what this whole thing is all about? Like, what do you want to see? Because I kind of glazed over a lot of things here, just to kind of give you an outline of where I'm at, what I'm doing. But I want to create what's going to be the most valuable for you. So let me know, what are you most interested in? Is it the accumulating points? Is it the spending points? Is it the game planning, all this stuff out? Let me know. And then once I do the next update video in terms of where I'm at, probably next month, then I'll be able to get you answers to those questions, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram. It's at AppleCriderOfficial. Head over to my website, applecrider.com. And if any of these cards sound appealing to you, especially the Chase Business or Chase Inc. Preferred, which is that last one that we have 2 of, definitely head down to the description, check it out. Again, if you do use that link, let me know. I'll be happy to feature you in a future episode. And just full disclosure, I will get 20,000 ultimate reward points for that, and you will get 80,000 if you hit that sign-up bonus, which if you want any help figuring out ways to do that, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm always happy to lend a hand. I'm going to cut it off there. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, definitely, I really, really appreciate you. Do consider leaving a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube. And I will catch you in the next episode of Young Smart Money.